Hey friends, welcome to Tennessee, and behind me you may be able to get a glimpse of the Little Pigeon River. This is in Sevierville, which is down next to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, and I'm in a real campground, something I don't do very much, and something I really don't care for that much anymore, and I'm going to tell you why. Now there you can see the big van. And something I haven't been, the first time this year I have actually had an electrical hookup. But let's talk about different campgrounds and what I do and don't like about them. Not that it isn't pretty here, because it is. But, so the first time you came here was how much a night?
About $14.
And how much was it last night? 48?
$48.
Now don't get me wrong, it's not that it isn't nice, because it is. It's very nice here. But I just don't have any desire to be 7 feet from my neighbor. They actually allowed tent camping here at one time, but they did away with that years ago. There are a bunch of cabins that you see back here, and there are over 300 spaces here for RVs. On the river where you can go down and fish, there are about 15 spaces. So you have to be really lucky to get one of those. So this is Tennessee, private campground, nice people. This is called Riverside Campground if you want to look this up. I will say, even with all these people, there are no generators. It's all hookups here. It is dead quiet. Once it hits dark. There are very few kids running around here. The majority of people that come here seem to be retired people for the most part. There's just no noise here pretty much at all. You know, everybody keeps it down. There's no partying. There's none of that. You know, while I don't really dig places that are $50 a night anymore, that I have done so much free or low cost camping elsewhere, on the other side of that river and about 100 yards down, there's a campground that it's more like a parking lot, except it's concrete instead of gravel, and I guarantee it is way over $100 a night to park an RV there. You can hear a truck off in the distance. That's the main drag on the other side of the river, headed toward Dollywood and Pigeon Forge. It is what it is. It's all about what you enjoy. And I think I've gotten spoiled the last couple of years since I've really got into this. I haven't put a lot of the travel videos up from that last trip yet, even though I threatened to. You know, the last trip before everything got shut down, I was going 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I was all down through the far end of Tennessee, just all over the place down in there, into Kentucky a little bit, down into Mississippi, into Tupelo. My total camping fees in that same vehicle, being gone 5 or 6 weeks, was zero. I did not pay a single penny in camping fees in all that time. But when you head into a touristy area like this, you just pretty much aren't going to have a choice. One thing you will notice, there will be a helicopter come overhead about every 15 minutes in this place. You just kind of get used to it. They're little, I guess, helicopter tours. I think they run those things just whether they have anybody on them or not. And by the way, I probably have about the ugliest vehicle in this place. It is dead flat all the way through here, but this is, in my mind, it's a high-end trailer park. I just don't want to be that few feet from everybody else, and everybody pretty much hiding inside anyway, except when they go out to walk their dog, or a couple of people may go through a line in the water every once in a while. And even though this is private property and this is a private campground, you do have to have a fishing license here in order to throw your line into the Little Pigeon River. Glance of their little cabins, and I think they're up to about $120 a night on these. These used to be $50 or $60. And there goes that helicopter again. While I like to do things free or cheap, I don't mind spending money. I expect to spend money if I go to a touristy area. You're going to pay to play in most places, and there's nothing you can do about that. But it does seem that all of the places I know about, at least in this part of the world, it seems that they're just jumping every year. But then again, the state parks and national forest and things have been taking big jumps the last couple of years also. But the purpose of this video really isn't to talk about prices, it's to talk about how my attitude, I guess, has changed. Because I used to enjoy this place, coming here for a day or two here and there, and it's still okay. It's not that I dislike it, but I will say, after I got into and learned and experienced other ways to do this camping stuff, more than the money, I just really don't enjoy this anywhere near as much, this place anywhere near as much as I used to. I just want to go find someplace tucked away a little more from other people, then be able to get out and go explore shops or abandoned stuff or cemeteries or all of those things that you see me do in other videos. So let me know in the comments what your experiences are. Are you the type of person that really likes places like this, or is this not your cup of tea? And let me know why, because for me, I'll meet people here in a place like this all the time. I mean, just walking around, like I said, but it just seems like people don't come out. They're all friendly, they're all great. They come out to walk their dog, or they may, a couple may take a little walk around here because it's flat late in the evening when the sun goes down. And everybody's friendly and everybody speaks, but nobody ever seems to. The only time I have probably had more than a 5-minute conversation with anyone in the 20 years that I've been coming here off and on, that we actually built a fire and hung out and talked and really enjoyed the evening, was with people from Australia that ended up here a few years ago. So it's just a different vibe, and while there's nothing wrong with it, it's just not my vibe. And it just seems like I've had so much of an easier time meeting people and interacting with people and making friends in other types of camping situations than I do in this type of campground. So I guess that's really what I want your opinion on. When you go to campgrounds like this, what kind of private campgrounds, nicer campgrounds, what are your experiences? What are your experiences with meeting people and making friends? Because for me, it just doesn't seem to happen here like it does when I'm in national forest or out on government land or other places that you've seen me travel and camp across the country. That's really what I want to know. Maybe it's just the area. Maybe I'm not in the right places. I don't know. I don't understand it. So anyway, I've promised you van comparison videos with the two vans. They're coming. I swear, I'm really going to do it. Other videos from that last trip of interesting places that I happened to get to go to. I want to be able to take you all with me, talk about ways to save money in those places and what was worth doing and what wasn't worth doing. Most of it was great. I had one that was a disaster, but that's all part of the adventure. My travel plans that I thought I was going to have are pretty much shot. I can tell you it is early June right now. You are June 21st, 22nd at this point, that the border is still closed with Canada. I'd look for that to be extended. But there are a lot of places here in the States, and even closer to this Virginia, Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina kind of region that I'm in. There are plenty of great places to explore. There are plenty of great places I have not been to yet, even within a few hours of my home. So if that's what ends up happening, then this will be the year that we'll explore those places. I've heard people talk about good-sized fish have come out of this river.
Yeah.
Other people we've met camping here over the years talked about knowing somebody or having this one day they pulled some 20-pound something out of here. What's the biggest thing you've ever seen come out of here? All the times you've been
Probably
here.
a big carp. And them big old swordfish.
You saw that come out of here. Somebody pull one of those out.
Oh yeah, these guys at a certain time of the year, they use a piece of cloth about that long.
Yeah.
It's like screen wire, but it's cloth. And they'll come over in there in boats and they'll throw it out in there and they get that in their teeth and they pull them in the boat, take them off, throw them back in. One right after another.
No, I've never seen that when I've been here.
Yeah. Yeah, they catch them long as your leg.
Okay.
And they always throw them back in. But these guys fish for them and they just got a big long piece of cloth on the end of their, line.
Yeah.
And some ways them things tacked it. They get their teeth in it and they get them in.
And that's legal.
It must be.
Tennessee, it's legal if you don't get caught, right?
I guess. They got a bow and arrow season everywhere where they shoot these carp with bows.
They shoot the fish with bows.
Yeah. Yeah, they shoot them with arrows with bows.
Okay then. I have to check into that. That might be more my speed.